Just want to let you lot know that if you're watching this clip on the Fozcast YouTube channel, the full episode is now available to watch exclusively on Spotify, and it's free. Come on. I'm going to start us off, Tom.
Go.
I'm going to start us off with an absolute nailed on, guaranteed is getting in the list.
Go on, him.
David Seaman.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool?
Yeah.
All right.
100%.
So Dave Seaman, so I get the stats from this one from like the Premier League website, but I think before 94 or 95, they don't have the stats, like Opta stats. So there's Dave Seaman, Nigel Martin, Dave James. There was a bit of a question mark over.
Kind of a bit of a crossover period.
Nev Southall, where there's no real numbers for. But so you're going to have to talk to us, Ben, about David James and what he was like as a goalkeeper.
David Seaman.
Sorry, David Seaman.
Yeah.
And also, the other thing is, in the past, where majority rules, I think, Tubes, we've got to be fair and bow down to
100%.
Ben's knowledge.
I said before we press record, I'm really interested to see what you think about these goalkeepers.
Well, before the podcast even started, Tube said to me, he said, he's the best goalie in Premier League history, isn't he? And I went,
no, he's not.
No, I don't know if he is, actually. No. I really don't know if he is.
Yeah.
Okay, so David Seaman has to be in there. Safe hand Seaman. Arsenal, absolute legend. So David Seaman, he has got 344 Premier League appearances, 141 clean sheets. It's as simple as that. He's one of the top 10 goalkeepers of Premier League history.
What was so good about him?
He was. I think because he actually came to real prominence sort of later in his career. So the older he got, the better he got. That's for me anyway. And I think that's just pure sort of experience, expertise, knowledge, calmness. I think David Seaman's one of his biggest things was calmness. He had a nice settled back four at Arsenal. Some of the legends of that Arsenal defence, Tony Adams, Keown, Bold, Winterburn, those kind of players. And I think it was so settled and so calm. You knew what you were going to get from him every single game. The defenders loved playing with him. He loved playing with them. It just worked. It's as simple as that. It just worked.
Do you think that's a regular occurrence that goalkeepers get better with age? Or
yes.
Do you see people drop off?
Well, it is. It's kind of like, so there's another player on this list, the Joe Harts, who I think might make it into this top 10 list. We'll talk about this in a minute. But Joe Hart, his younger years at Man City, for example. So Joe Hart has made 340 Premier League appearances, right? 340 Premier League appearances with 127 clean sheets. Yet he's still, 36?
It's mad.
He's still 36 and he's doing it week in, week out at Celtic, right? Whereas he probably stopped playing in the Premier League at 30, 31, 32. So
he went to Torino, didn't he?
So he went to Torino, went West Ham, he went out on loan everywhere. Burnley. So it doesn't necessarily guarantee that the older you get, the better you get.
No.
We'll talk about Joe Hart in a bit. David Seaman, he's 100%.
Get him in the list.
Tom, give me a suggestion. I'm gonna keep going round here, and we'll get suggestions from everybody.
I've got a controversial one here.
Okay.
Hugo Lloris.
Oh, that is a controversial one.
And I'll tell you why. Well, my opinion is he's a World Cup winner.
Yeah.
He's won an awful lot of stuff, right? I think he's overrated.
Wow. Okay. 361 Premier League appearances with 127 clean sheets. And you think he's overrated? Go on, give me why.
I do. I just think there's too many, especially in recent years, too many lapses of judgment.
Too many mistakes.
Too many mistakes.
Yeah.
But that's only in the last couple of years, though, isn't it? And that's what I mean as he's getting older. Is he getting a bit...
but this is what you're saying, though. Yeah. As you get older, surely you get more steady and more stable and you make less mistakes.
That's why
I just think everybody's different. I see where you're coming from with this one. For me, he doesn't make it into the top 10 list. Hugo Lloris will not make it into the top 10 list because I think there's much better selections ahead of him.
I think he goes in the maybe list straight away. Yeah. But you look at, he's like he's captain of France, captain of Spurs been. And he has had a phenomenal career. And I don't mean to be disrespectful when I say I'm talking about the levels of greatness. Yeah. And I don't think he's there with the Petr Cechs and the Dave Seamans.
I think I'd agree with that.
He's not on the same level as Petr Cech.
No, I'd agree with that. Yeah. There's not many that is.
So that's what I mean by it.
Yeah. So Hugo Lloris, I think we leave him out. I think his last 3 or 4 years in the Premier League have probably soured a lot of people's opinions of him because I think when he first came to the Premier League, when he was playing for France and he was absolutely ripping it up, I think for the first 5 or 6 seasons, he was unbelievable. He was incredible. He was like a new breed of like this smaller goalkeeper, but still very dominant, came out. And then it's almost like he just sort of sat back a little bit too much. Wouldn't come for those balls over the top, wouldn't come for the crosses.
Is that confidence?
Maybe it's a confidence thing.
We've got some stats as well here, by the way, so we'll throw them in during the episode, but we've got Premier League appearances, clean sheets, clean sheet percentage, goals conceded per game.
Yeah.
Then we've got errors leading to goals, and that as a percentage. Saves per game, penalty saves, and then this is an important one, high claims.
Yeah, high
What do
claims,
I mean
yeah.
by that, Ben? High claims.
Basically, a ball into the box, a cross. But again, with stats, one cross is different to another cross. You could have a cross that's no pressure on it whatsoever, or you could have a cross where I'm watching Edison at the weekend against Liverpool, and he's coming out and taking balls over the top of people's heads. Martinez was doing it against Tottenham the other day, coming out, taking the balls off of people's heads, coming into busy areas, congested areas, which is much more
But what
difficult.
it does do is it builds a picture
it
for
does.
you
Yeah,
of
for sure.
the type of goalkeeper.
Exactly, yeah.
Thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed this clip of the Fozcast. If you would like to watch the full episode, it is now available exclusively on Spotify for free.